Hey, KidNuz fans! As you know, we're always trying to increase the news IQ of our listeners. Now there's a way to help them improve in all sorts of subjects. IXL is an online learning platform helping millions of K through 12 kids up their academic game. 75 scientific studies back up the boost they'll get in math, science, reading, and social studies. Kids get instant feedback and explanations. Parents get reports showing what's working and where more help might be needed. And right now, KidNuz listeners can try it out for 20% off when they sign up at IXL.com/KidNuz. Check out the monthly and annual memberships at IXL.com/KidNuz. Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. Today is Monday, August 26, 2024. And we begin with a first in the 150-year history of Major League Baseball. This afternoon, catcher Danny Jansen of the Red Sox will suit up for his team after suiting up for the opposing team in the very same game. Impossible? Apparently not. Danny played for the Toronto Blue Jays earlier in the season and was mid-at-bat against Boston when the game got called for rain. Little did anyone know that he'd soon be traded to the team he was just facing. Per baseball's rules for suspended games, the player at bat when the game gets called must finish. But because of the trade, a pinch hitter will come in and Danny of the Red Sox will be behind the plate, catching the at-bat that he began as a hitter for the Blue Jays. That'll make him the first man in baseball to be permanently recorded in the box score as playing against himself, which, when you think about it, also means no matter how the game ends, Danny wins. Today's planned launch of Polaris Dawn, a private venture that intends to fly humans deeper into space than anyone's gone in 50 years, has been pushed until tomorrow. Launch time is now 3:38 a.m. East Coast time. Once in orbit, the crew will also attempt a spacewalk, the first ever by civilians. Perhaps watching that history from across the cosmos, those two astronauts stranded on the International Space Station, who just found out they won't be coming home until early next year, at the earliest. NASA made the announcement over the weekend after deciding that Boeing's Starliner spacecraft is still not safe enough for a crewed return. Instead, that capsule will be brought back from the lab empty, and the two astronauts will hitch an overdue ride home on a SpaceX vehicle in February. The country of Iceland is in quite a pickle over cucumbers, specifically a shortage of them due to the viral recipes of Logan Moffat. Better known as Cucumber Guy, he is one of the TikTok creators who sliced and diced his way into an international incident. In Iceland, cukes are grown almost entirely in greenhouses, and when they run out, getting more to that isolated Northern Hemisphere island is no easy task. In fact, one of the nation's biggest grocers just had to request an emergency shipment from the Netherlands. According to the New York Times, some Icelanders have even messaged the Cucumber Guy directly. "You've literally created a cucumber shortage," one person wrote to him on Instagram, and "they're blaming you, man." For his part, Logan is riding the wave. "I know these food trends come and go really quickly," he told USA Today, "so I'm just trying to appreciate being part of a food trend. A trend that Iceland, no doubt, will be glad to see end." Another trend that's past its prime? Tourists getting up close and personal with dangerous wildlife for selfies. Officials in Jackson Hole, Wyoming have had just about enough of it. They've launched a public service campaign with a warning: grizzlies can run at 35 miles an hour. Humans? 8. You do the math. As the head of the tourism board told ABC News, these are wild animals. This is not a zoo. These animals need space. To help them get it, Jackson Hole has also released a tool for humans called Selfie Control. It's a new Instagram filter visitors can download to show the safe distance from which to selfie with those bison, moose, and bears. No hospital visit required. A waxy nub of just about everyone's childhood is now part of a trademark. It's the scent of Crayola crayons, which has been officially described in trademark documents as slightly earthy soap with pungent leather-like clay undertones. The company first applied for the trademark in 2018, but was turned down. It won on appeal this summer after sharing and comparing the smell of its crayons to that of its competitors to show the difference. Crayola's CEO says his goal is to someday pump that unmistakable scent into the arts and crafts aisles of major retailers. Still to come, the piece of sports memorabilia known as the Mona Lisa of collectibles and the crazy amount it just sold for. But first, we want to wish Paxton Lee of Fort Worth, Texas, a very happy birthday. Paxton, we know it was yesterday, and we hope you had a great day celebrating with your mom, dad, and big brother Parker, who all tell us you're going to crush it at Trinity Valley School this year and on the soccer field. Now, today's KidNuz quiz. Catcher Danny Jansen will make history as the first baseball player to play for what two teams in the very same game? The Toronto Blue Jays and Boston Red Sox. Because of TikTok, which vegetable is in short supply in Iceland? Cucumbers. What tourist town is launching a campaign to get humans to stop getting too close to wild animals? Jackson Hole, Wyoming. When will those two stranded astronauts get to come home? Not before next February. In today's KidNuz kicker, the Sultan of Swat is now the Sultan of Swag. Over the weekend, the jersey Babe Ruth wore when he telegraphed his own home run before hitting it at Game 3 of the 1932 World Series sold at auction for $24 million, shattering the record for the most expensive sports collectible. It nearly doubles the previous high, a mint-condition 1952 Topps baseball card of Mickey Mantle. Babe's gesture to the center field stands right before he launched the ball there on the very next pitch is known as the called shot. It was also the last World Series home run by Babe in his legendary career. Thanks again to the Lee family of Fort Worth, Texas for underwriting today's quiz. Happy belated birthday to Lego-loving Paxton, and hello to all his friends at Trinity Valley School. And hello to our other KidNuz classrooms, Mrs. McKnight and her Iron House Eagles at Iron House in Oakley, California, Ms. Mann's Bulldogs at Susan Moore in Blountesville, Alabama, and Mrs. Donathan and her Cardinals at Blair Point Upper in Peru, Indiana. Thanks for listening. Please rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you back here for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.